Throughout the past few pods, we've been exploring plot, and your essential question is going to remain, what is plot and how does it create a storyline? By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify all 6 parts of a plot and then apply it to your gift of the Magi story. Your standards are analyze how particular elements of a story or drama interact and how setting shapes the characters and the plot. Here is a diagram of a plot line. As you can see, there's the beginning, also known as the exposition, where the inciting incident or conflict is introduced. You have the rising action that leads to the climax. You have a falling action, and then you have a resolution. At this point in time, you should be extremely familiar with these terms and applying them to the stories that you're reading. Exposition is the beginning, where your characters and the background story is often introduced. Following the exposition, or part of the exposition actually, is called the inciting incident. This is where the conflict or problem is introduced. The problem is the catalyst for the entire story. Without this problem, there really would be no plot. The plot couldn't go anywhere. So think of the one element in the story, what character is involved in this problem, and how this problem drives the rest of the plot, as well as the characters' interactions. Next, you have the rising action, which is often the longest part of the story. It builds up to the climax, but here the conflicts often develop complications. There are moments of fun, confusion, or surprise, and the storyline really takes shape. After the rising action, you have the climax, which is the most exciting part. Oftentimes, the villain is defeated. This is a really good part of the plot, keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's really what you're reading to get to. The falling action, the story starts to wrap up, and these have varying lengths in writing. They may even end at the climax. Some stories do, but oftentimes there's a falling action, which is somewhat of a closure to a story. And then you have the resolution, which is the final ending. The characters and the conflict are resolved, and the end of the story occurs in the resolution.